I know you guys can't really hear me. I always love to start my videos with music, or I like to play a song afterwards, whichever resonates. I happen to be at work today, at my fun job where I get to do readings. And I just thought I'd play a little bit of this Enigma. I remember being able to listen to this all the time, and it was just awesome. And so it's like this release is needed right now. Today is the 4th of September, and let me make sure that this volume is all the way up, because sometimes I put it down, and just to make sure that it's not too loud when I record. But on the same token, I always like to make sure that it is turned up high enough to where you can hear me. Oh my gosh. I knew that it was going to get bad. By the way, this message is for Libras. This video is for Libras. I knew it was going to get really bad. I knew it because I had already been forewarned that starting from September through December that it was going to get really bad. But I really didn't realize how intense the energy was going to be. And the energy has been off the chain, like they used to say. It's been bad. And the only thing I can say is it started with me, and I'm just giving you a short synopsis before the video, actually starts with, the actual reading, because I like for, if you have had any stories or any craziness in your life this week, or this, last week, even starting from last weekend to this week. Well, actually, it's the weekend. Please do share. And what I notice is, and I am very grateful to my Libras, I have had over 90 views, but I only have 23 subscribers, which I'm very grateful for. So I'm not sure if you guys are watching over and over again, the same 23 of you, or or people just maybe watch and maybe it's not their bag and they just keep going. But I'm very grateful. So because of that, I'm doing the Libra reading first. And so anyway, back to what's been happening that I feel in general, energy-wise, has been really volatile. Like I told you guys before, watching what we say was going to be very important for all of us, not just some people, all of us, right, in general. We don't want to lose people that are important to us, especially at this state of time, that we're in, because, there's been so many, for example, partnerships dissolving, and I'm talking about romantic partnerships and possibly even partnerships in business that have dissolved. And the reason is because of the way that all the planets are aligned and trining and sextiling each other, etc. Even Venus is thrown in there, but it's still not positive because of Mars. And Mars is the warring planet. So everybody, even if they're well-intended, are having this energy that's just, kind of warring each other, kind of at each other's throats. Even if you love each other to pieces, you're still having misunderstandings and having these misguided conversations that maybe are going to be affecting someone that's listening in a negative way. So I'm including myself in this video that I have to watch what I say, and I have to try not to be maybe too sensitive to something that's being stated. Now, if it's stated as a critique, that's something different. But if it's told to you in bluntness. That's not a critique. That is you just speaking out of the other end of your body. So be very careful how you state something, especially if you're giving advice, or especially if you're giving somebody, if you're telling somebody something that you mean for their greater good. Try to word them in your mind before they come out of your mouth, because otherwise, even the best intended advice can come out really ugly and be taken in a brutal way instead of in a way that maybe you intended it to be. So, synopsis of what my life has been like. Um, makes me want to cry because I just adopted 2 cats and I really love my cats and they're my family. And I kept, feeling upset because, and again, I'm just giving you guys a synopsis of what type of energy is around us. So I kept getting upset at my male cat because he's very mischievous and he's very tenacious, and so he loves to run. And literally, if you look at a baseball player that's running to home base, they run, and then they slide. And so I had been for the last month and a half trying to put stacks of papers because they were all grouped, like what needed to go where. And my cat was literally, that one cat was literally um, taking nosedives into the papers and into everything, and there would be scattered messes again, and I was very upset. And then, other things have been happening with the litter box, which I won't get into explicits about because it's gross. But, he's the kind of cat that he's not wanting you to get close to him. He has this thing where if he wants to get close to you, he'll come and brush on you, and that's about it. So this time he allowed me to touch him, and I was touching him, and I was like, you're kind of thin. I hope I'm feeding you right, loving on him. And I felt something that feels like a cyst or something inside of, his belly. And I was like, he's fixed, so I don't know what's going on there. And it's making me feel very sad because, like I said, he's mischievous, but he's mine. And so he's my mischievous baby. And now I'm worried that there might be something wrong with him where I have to take him to the vet and find out what it is. And I don't have cat insurance, so now I'm going to have to get insurance for him just to ensure that he's, going to be able to be treated. And I just finished telling a friend, Diva, that, I don't believe in taking pets to the vet because, I don't even have insurance right now because I'm just newly into my new job, right? So nonetheless, as a Libra, I'm like, okay, so I ate those words very fast because now I'm really concerned. I don't know what's wrong with him. Um, I hope he's not in pain. He doesn't look like he's in pain. He runs and takes nosedives. He jumps. He's very playful and he's so full of energy. He reminds me of Tigger, actually, because of his energy, the way that he expresses his energy, right, through his motion. But anyway, so I went through that. That was a few days back that I found that on him. And I'm not sure if that's why he's doing potty really not in a good way. And then last night, my finger caught on fire here at work. I don't know if you guys can see that big old blister. I was literally on fire. And I had to keep blowing it out because I had a lady on the table and I was doing Reiki on her, performing Reiki on her. And I wanted to laugh and cry, not cry, but like cry out loud, ouch. And instead, I just poured some, Florida water on it and just kept going. And on the way home, my car decided to break down again. And so I was like, okay, so the car broke down. and the same spot it broke the first time. And I was in an incline like this, and I put my hazards on because it was the middle of the night. It was like 9:30 at night, and I didn't know what to do. So I got out of the car and I started flagging people down, and they thought that meant go around me, so they kept going around me. So I said, excuse my French, F it. And I just put the car in neutral and was steering and pushing. And I just got back inside once it started rolling down the hill, and it's a steep hill. And then the brakes wouldn't work. So I was stepping on the brakes as hard as I could. And, you know, they really weren't working. And I did a really sharp turn onto my street, and then another sharp turn into the parking lot where the townhouse is, and that was enough momentum to get me there. Then I had to call the tow truck, and it's gonna be almost $600 to fix the car again a month and a half later. So this is the type of energy that we are into right now. I'm sharing all this not as a complainer and a whiner, and I want the biggest tiara for being, the biggest whiner on the block. It's that this is the type of energy that's occurring, and you can lose friendships, you can lose, relationships, you can lose your job, things can break down, mechanical things can certainly stop working, electronics can go awry. Make sure you have, a surge protector. Make sure you have, insurance on your computer, or, the extra warranty, etc. And make sure that your candles are out if you're not home, or if you don't have them where they won't catch fire. Make sure you don't trip and fall. Make sure you don't cut yourself. Make sure that you watch in traffic, that you don't have car accidents. Crossing the street, that you make sure there's nobody coming. That just numerous things. Just that you don't trip, that your shoes are tight, etc. And I'm sorry for the flashes. When I move my hands, I give off a lot of magnetic energy, so there's gonna be flashes here and there. Um, that's what happens. That's why the kind of like, I can even see all the energy behind me. It's like when you have heat waves and you can see it rising off of the street. I don't know if y'all can see. Right here, I have a tapestry of Ganesha, and I can see all the energy waves that are rising. But that's just me giving off energy, guys. And so anyway, let us see what we have to maybe be careful of, what's coming, and what we need to be careful with. So instead of starting with that deck that I had in my hand, I'm going to start with the Celtic deck. So hopefully I don't shake the table too much. We need to know as Libras, oops, got it upside down. What is coming? What do we need to be aware of? What kind of energies are around us? What do we need to be aware of for right now for the 4th of September, let's say through the 7th of September? Through this weekend, what do we need to be aware of? What's coming towards us? And then I'll shuffle the other cards so we don't have to shuffle that. What can we look forward to as Libras for September 3rd through the 7th, 2020? What can we look forward to as Libras September 4th through the 7th, 2020? Okay, they're shuffled. Let's start with this deck, which is the Celtic deck. Movement, cars, and problems, accidents, but also even short trips could be had right now. The good thing that we can look forward to is camaraderie, family, good times, good feelings. That's a good thing. We need it. Again, family and friends, feeling connected with others at this time. That's a good thing. I don't see anything bad so far. The birthing of a new life. So, you know, I'm gonna step out, and by the way, as y'all can see, standing outside and walking outside today with all the humidity and the drizzle didn't help my hair thing. You guys already know that I'm Fraggle Rock from my hair, and it didn't help for me to have to be walking today outside in this atmosphere. So nonetheless, having a new life that's trying to come, right? Having this newness to life, to your um, existence is a positive thing. So, um, however, with the energies the way that they are, it can put a damper on things, right? Libra, it can put a damper on how things actually, and this thing is listening to me, how strange. My phone is listening to me and started literally typing out loud everything that I was stating right now to you guys. And I have it set to Pandora. That's what I have it set to, Pandora. So how it started typing out loud, it just goes to show how chaotic the energy is. I should have shown it to y'all before I removed it, but I looked down from taking my glasses off and it was on a like a speaker that was listening to me, and it was typing out all the words like as if it was dictating what I was saying. That was awesome in a weird way. So Siri or whatever's in there is listening. Big Brother, whatever. I was about to say, and before I was really interrupted here, that for this new life to come, I think there's going to be a lot more chaos before this newness is coming in and actually taking root. So, although I see these beautiful things and it is meant to be, this is the ultimate card in this deck to tell us that this is something God has ordained. God, Goddess has ordained this. This is already blessed. This is already being sent out to you. I don't see anything bad yet. I see fulfillment. I see completeness. I see infinity. I see that it's long lasting, whatever's coming your way. Whoa, when it has to do with money. So something in reference to money for Libras is something very positive. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a bump up in your raise, at work, something. There is a decision that has to be made. Looks like there's a decision that has to be made. Let's see if it's about money or love. Just in general, it's talking about your new life. So a new lifestyle could be where you live. It could be where a new job. It could be a new direction that you want your life to go in. Anything of that sort. Tested by fire. So they say iron strengthens or sharpens iron. So take this weekend, because that's what we're doing, is the 4th through the 7th. Take this weekend and allow yourself to be sharpened by whatever consequences, whatever occasion, whatever circumstances find their way to you. Know that you are iron and you're being tested and you are being sharpened by iron, okay? Again, that's the heaviness of being sharpened by iron. Remember I told you I didn't feel like everything was going to be all creams and peaches or peaches and cream. And so although it's meant to be and a new life is upon you, the decision is yours, because in order to get there, there is a lot that you have to go through, being tested, feeling a lot of pressure, feeling a lot of weight on your shoulders to be able to get what you want out of life and the outcome that you want. So, is it going to be easy? I didn't think so, because everything looked like rainbows and butterflies that I saw before. And that doesn't mean it's not coming. That just means it's hard won. So, in other words, you have to work for it. Call this weekend especially, and the weeks to come, all the way through December, the highest exam ever. Pretend like you're I keep telling you guys, pretend like you're in university, and this has nothing to do with exams school wise in a real setting. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about pretending like this is you're in the exam, that you're in the test of your life, and you're either going to sink or swim. And so if you really want all the beautiful things that I saw, that I showed you coming, then yeah, it's gonna be hard work. It's not gonna be easy one. It's not gonna be an easy win. It's just not. You are being tested, and it's gonna be up to you whether you pass the test or you fail it, okay? There is energy that's coming in to save the day. And what I would like to point out that I just noticed right now, and I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to call in the pyramid energy, because I'm seeing this. It's a pyramid. See that? I'm not going to call it triangle. I'm going to call them pyramids, because that's the way they're calling out to me. And then look at here. In the middle of the fire looks like a triangle, a pyramid, right? The tops of the houses, the trusses, they are also in the form of a pyramid. So if you look at a pyramid, or, in elementary they teach us triangle, they're three-sided. 1, 2, 3. Three-sided. So the power of 3 is very, very strong, and there are 3 pyramids in this particular card. So the power of 3 is very, very, very intensely. I'm sorry, my ear kind of hurts from these earrings for some reason. Is very, very strong. So call on the power of 3. Wow, I just noticed the peak of the mountain can also be considered a pyramid. So the power of 3 is very, very intense and very important right now. There could be beautiful things coming in by the power of 3, and there can also be very intensely felt things coming in by the power of 3. So as much as the positive, as much as the negative can be felt by the power of 3. Okay, and this full moon has just brought in some really intense energy. So we have the full moon, and then we have Mars that's in charge, large and in charge, as they say, which is not a positive thing, unfortunately, because of the aspects of which the planets are aligned. Something that's coming very quickly. Let's see if it's news. It is news in reference to abundance. So again, I'm telling you guys, even though I got burnt, I hope my baby's okay. I hope that's something that's nothing, that it's just nothing to be concerned of or about. And oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you guys that they decided to, I decided to move back into my other bedroom, because I feel like I can get more work accomplished in that other room, and I feel more comfortable in that other room because all my work stuff is in there like it is in this room. And so smart person here decided to go ahead and buy a memory foam mattress for that room, and they delivered it 5 days too early. It was supposed to come on the 9th, and I had already told my lead. I had already told Diva I was probably going to be off on the 9th because I didn't want to miss, the delivery of the mattress, because it's expensive. And then the other thing is, you don't want people jacking you, right? Walking off with your mattress, right? So I decided to show up today. I don't have a car. I had to just drop off the car yet again to the mechanic shop. So I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Well, lo and behold, the mechanics there, they decided to do their good deed for the day, and they literally dropped me to my townhome. And then a friend from work was very gracious, and I hope she watches this video. Christine, she ended up dropping me here all the way to the front door to my job. So I'm very grateful to her. And it's like, oy vey, can we just catch a break? But probably not. So I'm just forewarning you that although beautiful things are going to come out of these, the way that we're being pushed forward, right, propelled forward to find our way in life, or to find our different way of life, or find a newness in our life, or find a new path in life, it's not going to come without a price. but your wishes can come true. Your fairy wishes, your prayers, your petitions, whatever you want to call it, they will be coming. They will be coming. And the new life that you're asking for is coming. Some of us are going to find it hard won because really look at the card. Yes, the sun is bright and shiny and whatnot, but look what's behind crashing waves. It's just, like, oh, I have a victory, but it was hard won. So I don't feel like we're out of the water. I don't feel like this is something unscathed. So here we go. And some more turmoil. We are going to come out of this, but it's going to be hard won. I really don't, trying to get to safety, etc. I really don't think that anybody that's a Libra is going to get out of this without feeling unscathed or unmarked or untouched by whatever it is, energy wise is coming this way. But it is trying to release karma. So whatever karma is there to be released by you as an individual, the moon, the full moon, and then the ending crescent moon is telling us that these energies are being felt very intense. The moon is making us feel even more intense. But look, if you look at it, as if there were planets. If you go and look at the way the planets are aligned, they're also aligned that way. And the weirdness is that Mars is closest to the Earth, and it's creating a lot of chaos upon planet Earth, which all these alignments that started way back in January, February, started creating the chaos. Then it started to culminate in April, and then really, really dug deep and started taking its root starting in April, May, June. And then I was like, okay, we can get a reprieve starting in July. But that was for like a tad bit because now we're in September, and that's when I got my car back. And it only lasted a month and a half, and it broke again. So again, I'm telling you for a reason that although this is what we want the sun to shine, excuse me, want the sun to shine, we want to sit in a nice sweet place, we want to see clearing, you're going to get, to me, what this reading is telling us is that you're going to get a lot of chaos and then clear, and then a lot of chaos and then a little bit of reprieve, a lot of chaos, and then you're going to have a little bit of, okay, I can breathe. So that new life that you want, um, some people will be like, this is just too hard. That's the way he looks like. All like I don't even know if I can make it through. I don't know. So it's going to take, and if you look at the black moon rising right there, it's going to take a lot out of you to keep going. I could have decided to stay home and not come to work tonight, even though I've had nobody to read for, but I'm reading for you guys, and that makes me happy. I could have decided to stay home in the comfort of my home and started, making room for that new mattress and my new bed in that new bedroom that I want to move into. Instead, I decided to come to work because you still have to keep your responsibilities, the sense of responsibility. You still have to show up. You still have to be accountable. You still have to do this, although it's hard. You still have to keep doing this. And you do have to decide whether you want this new life, if you're going to work hard for it, or if you're just going to be like this guy that's underneath the sand, the soil, that hasn't broken through because he's not sure. He's unsure of himself whether he can do this. And this means adulting. And I'm not lecturing because this is for me too. I'm a Libra. This means adulting. Am I going to adult and break all the way through, or am I going to just continue to float through life and accept whatever comes? So this is what you get if you do adult. You get to have the kill, so to speak. The kill is what helps you to continue to eat, continue to put a roof over your head, continue to drive a car, groceries, buy your stuff from Amazon, Wish, Walmart, Wally World, whatever. Whatever it is that your needs, necessities, and wants are. So you have to decide. Then once you make that decision, that's when you gain the inner strength and you have the superhuman strength to keep going. If we can get through December, that's when we can start talking about what a suprahuman is, okay? So what we are going to be needing a lot from September through December is a lot of holding your ground, standing your ground, but also convalescing. When we can rest, rest. I've had the whole week of the first the first week I couldn't sleep. I was having bad dreams. The first of this week. So that was Monday. The next day, I only slept like 2-3 hours because I couldn't figure out what the heck was happening. I was sweating profusely. The next day I figured out what was happening was that somehow the uh, part that goes from the AC, the portable AC, to the window had dislodged. And so it was just spewing out the hot air back into the bedroom. So I haven't slept well this week, and I'm sure it shows. And then, like I said, I got burned, and then the car, and then the mattress, the box was wet, but at least it didn't ruin it, I hope. So you're going to need a lot of rest because it's going to be so chaotic that you're going to feel it. Your body's going to feel it. Your mind's going to feel it. Your spirit's going to feel like you need some rest. So wherever you can catch a break, wherever you can get rest, I would recommend going ahead and just resting because you're going to feel like this card. You're going to feel like that. Like you've been in crystallized or even put on ice, which means you do not get to move forward. So in order to not feel like you're encapsulated by ice or even cement, because I mentioned cement the other day, was that you're going to have to give yourself a break here and there. And that if that means saying no to people, no to party, no to doing too much for someone else, in order for you to make sure that you're healthy, make sure your immune system doesn't go down, make sure that you have your needs met, because you can't love on anybody if you're tired and super exhausted. How can you give love or even help or assistance to other people if you're not feeling well yourself? If you lose out on your sleep, then that's not a good thing, because then at work your productivity or your ability to do your job well goes down because you're not mentally well, you're not mentally um rested, and so you have to do for you in order for you to feel good in your body, and so you don't get sick and to get your things accomplished. Another thing that really made me feel so bad this week was that I don't leave my clients that have been with me for so long, I don't leave them hanging. I literally had to leave one of them hanging because someone had an emergency and I felt bad for that person. So, in the throw of that, unfortunately, my mind was in chaos trying to see how I could figure out how to help this person. And I totally forgot my client. So she didn't get mad, but she was like, well, I'll have to set another date because I'm about to go out of town and I don't have any time. And it made me feel bad because I've had the same client for 10 years, her mother and the two sisters, and then a cousin that I've been reading for that are in the Carolinas, and Georgia area as well. Um, and I had to disappoint them. And so don't, what I'm trying to say is, even if you love someone and you want to help them, if it's going to cause you to not fulfill what your plans are or not to fulfill your responsibilities, you may have to learn how to say no. And for Libras, that's very hard. The other thing is, if it's going to detract from you making money, which you have to pay your bills with, and you do most definitely have to say no. That doesn't mean you don't want to help people, and that doesn't mean you can't help people, but you help them when you can. And if you can't help them, then you just can't, because you're going to put yourself, you may put yourself in a position where you end up hurting yourself. Um, and the way that I like to express that is that if you see somebody out in the ocean and they're drowning, and you go swim out, and then you're tired because you swam out into the ocean to save that person, and as you're trying to grab a hold of them to bring them back to land to where they're going to be safe, they panic and get all upset and start pushing you down to use you as a floating device, and then you end up drowning. So then they still can't swim, so they end up drowning anyway. So you may be trying to help somebody that in essence could end up drowning anyway, because you're trying to help them, and then you're going to end up in the same boat that they're in. And you don't want to end up without a job. You don't want to end up without money. You don't want to end up without, completing your responsibilities, eating right. I haven't eaten a decent meal in days because, like for example, today I haven't had a meal. I haven't had a meal through all this chaos. I have not had one meal. And I had done a meal replacer powder thing, and I mixed it, and I just threw it out because I didn't have time. I had to go look into why the car was doing whatever and what they were going to do about it. So you got to take care of yourself during the season, from now to December, especially because if not, I guarantee you, not due to COVID, but you could get sick because your immune system goes down. So let's see what else is coming our way. Now we have our trusty other deck that we have already pre-shuffled. For Libras, the Queen of Wands keeps coming out. And I already said that I was going to look into this further. So you know what? Let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. I mean, I know pretty much, the significance, but what I would like to know is, are we supposed to be embodying this energy? Or do we represent this energy? And this is for male or female. Interesting. Queen of Wands showing up in your readings. Showing up in your yes or no spread. She represents, let's see what this says. She represents, this queen represents, and this is male, female, just because she's a female, a queen and not a king doesn't mean it doesn't pertain to you. She represents an independent woman with a dominating feminine energy. She doesn't need anyone else, especially men or a man needing a woman, to make her feel complete. Full of enthusiasm, she deals with every problem with pleasure and delight. There's the answer right there. There's the answer right there in a nutshell. I just finished telling the lovely person that drove me here that I cannot let or allow the things that are happening and coming about due to this Mars energy stop me. I made it to work this morning in a tow truck, but I made it to work. And I stayed as long as I could. And then I decided I needed to go across the way to make sure that they were going in the right direction and speeding up the what is wrong with the car issue. And then I was going to either, have a ride from one of two people, that if they could, if they couldn't, I was going to, I understood. And if worst case scenario, I was going to take the bus home, which would have taken two buses. And then from there, I would have come here, which would have taken three buses. But it was okay. I was prepared to do that. I kept going and doing the Reiki, even though my whole finger caught on fire. What I was doing was I was utilizing I was utilizing the sage, and the string that was twined caught fire, and it connected to my finger, which connected to my fingernail polish, and that's why I no longer have a nail, because I had to cut it down, because it burned, the fingernail polish as well. And so then it caught fire, and then it connected, and it stayed there, and my finger was literally aflame. And I wasn't about to tell the person that was asleep snoring on the table, hey, hands on fire, I gotta stop. I kept going. So that's what I told the nice person that drove me to work for today, to this job, that I wasn't going to let this energy stop me. And so that's pretty much what this card is telling us. And I was wondering why she kept coming out in our reading in general, because I'm doing a reading for male, female. I'm not doing a reading for Libra females. I'm doing a reading across board. It's a general reading. But I kept wondering, why does she keep coming out? Well, we've got finally the message. Is because we have to have a can-do attitude. We have to keep going no matter what happens. And the victory is the outcome. So we will have success by December. But I do know that we're going to have, fall going into winter by the time we have this reprieve. And until then, we're going to feel very tested, tormented. We're going to, feel like, she's blindfolded. So trying to walk amongst all those swords is going to be trying. It's going to be tremulous. It's not going to be an easy cakewalk. But there is change coming. If you can make it through, the change will come. The change will occur. But it's like, although you're not the one that's pregnant, let's say it's Mother Earth or Mother Goddess pregnant with you. And so what it's likening onto, is a difficult birthing. So your new life is upon you, and it's coming. September, because we're still in the beginning, October, November, December, 4 months, 4 months of feeling intense birthing pains, but they did forewarn us that it was better than 9 months, which is the gestation period for a human being to be ready to come out of the womb. You will be hearing a lot of messages, and here we go, pyramids again. So the power of 3 again. For those of you out there that know what the power of 3 is, great. If you don't, look it up. Power of 3, and very magical. So something that we don't know yet that's hidden is part of the message. So you're going to get a message, but right now you don't know what that message may be about. But a message is coming, and it's on its way to you. And as a matter of fact, let me tell you why I'm on mark. Those of you that are readers out there yourself, look at all those wands. What do they signify to you as a reader? Messages, 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 and messages. But it looks like messages that are pretty happy. It's just that feeling tested because you haven't seen the end of the rainbow. You haven't seen what's coming yet. There is an assured victory, okay? Maybe hard won, but it's an assured victory. The King of Cups is showing up, so this might be the energy of somebody loving, somebody that's gregarious, somebody that comes into your life and brings good things, or maybe a King of Cups, a person, an actual person, is going to bring you news about a job, news about love, news about partnership, news about, something that's going to improve. There we go, an offer. So as this card is always dictating to us or indicating to us that we are We have free will. Remember what I showed you in the other deck? Let me see if I can find that real quick. You know, we can always choose to be like, oh, I can't do it. It's too hard. And I'm not saying I don't whine, okay? Please don't take it that way. But we can talk ourselves out of something beautiful and positive. This is the same thing pretty much, is that he's being offered something. He's being offered to rebirth. He's being offered a new life, a new way of life, and he's ignoring it. He's in his dream state. So he's looking at the Three of Cups in the front, and he's like, oh, I really don't really want that. But then he's being offered a fourth one, and he still doesn't even realize that he's being offered. And this is from God. It's ordained. See how the hand of God is reaching out and saying, hey, buddy, wake up. Wake up. Trying to give you something good here. Hey, Skittles are in there. Or let's say a margarita, whatever it is that you feel is good for you. But something's in there. Maybe it's some gold, and you're just ignoring it. So same thing here. You're not going to be forced to move forward to your new life and to strength. If you can see the phallus there, you're not going to be forced. You don't want to move ahead, then don't. If you've already been offered by friends, family, coworkers, your significant other to move forward and you still don't want to, then nobody's going to keep pushing you. This is you having to have enough strength to do it yourself. By fall, it's going to get worse. By fall, it's going to get worse. So if we have an early fall and we have it, let's say October, end of October, early November, then expect that time frame to get worse before it gets better. If we have November into December as our fall, depending on what part of the world you live in, where there's actually going to be fall time. So let's say that, like right now in the UK or Australia or any place like that, that they're having the opposite, they're going into their summer, then don't look at it as your summer. Look at it as the fall of another country. That's the time frame I'm talking about, that things are going to get bad. We're talking about either late December, early November, or November going into December, when things are going to get really intense. And that's when you're really, really, really going to feel this way. So you can hold on and reap the benefits. And that's if you do the work. And by doing the work, all you have to do is hold on and move forward if you want to. And if you think that your life is good and golden and you don't mind having all the chaos or all the problems that your life has right now, then you have no work to do. Excuse me, my allergies. Then God, Goddess has already dealt with you, already expressed to you. You've already been given the opportunity to hear from multiple people's, multiple places, multiple videos, or whatever you do to gather your information. And I'm talking about myself too. I already have had enough educating myself that I need to move forward, and I know this. So I'm talking to a certain someone out there that by my birthday, if they haven't awoken, sorry, Felipe, I cannot wait anymore, because I'm not going to spend my birthday month and my birthday time trying to open up a flower that remains closed and shut. That it's like, have you ever bought a jar of something, and I don't care what mechanisms you have at home, what gadgets you have, that sucker will not open. Or a Gatorade or anything, and you're like, you go through the whole, can you open this? Can you try this? Can you maybe try this? Nobody can open it. Okay, that's what Felipe is doing. So Felipe, I'm changing your name because you already know who I'm talking to. Since you're not coming around and you're not wanting to open up, then I cannot wait forever. And I hope my Libras out there, you know when it's time to walk away. You know when it's time. Don't live in a fairy tale type of situation where you tell yourself that this is just going to work out if I just hold on. They're going to leave their baby mama if I just hold on. If I just hold on, this person is going to finally marry me. If I just hold on, they've already promised me that, the world. If it doesn't happen by December, I'm telling you, that's it. Pack up your bag of toys and just move on. I'm giving myself till my birthday, the day or two before my birthday, because I refuse to live my birthday in a negative. I'm gonna choose that day as the beginning of the rest of my life. So I would tell you to do the same. So even though having hard times, somebody's going to be having some hard times, and they might be telling you, oh, woe is me, I'm going to be having hard times. Well, guess what? You're having hard times too. You've got to love you too. And so talking about that this is not going to happen. They'll be telling you something about maybe a move, a trip, or something that's not going to happen. Or maybe you're going to be the one that's having to move, and because this is not going to happen. So just be forewarned. This video is already going on 51 minutes, and so I'm going to do one last card from a different deck because I feel like you guys already know in my readings, no matter how tough it gets, I do not like to leave in a negative. So, Spirit, what do you need to tell us, Libras, especially for the time frame of the 4th through the 7th? This weekend is very hard. I can feel the energy. I can feel it volatile. I can feel people explosive. I can feel things in the negative. So what positive things can you tell us, Libras, that we can look forward to? What positive things? I just want you to give me 3 cards. Spirit, give me 3 positive cards to tell my fellow Libras. Okay, so one is going to be for the past, the present, and the future so that we can know. So I'm going to take the first one. I'm not turning it over yet. I'm going to take the middle card, and then I'll turn that over, and then the last one will be for the future. So this is what we're going through right now, and that's not too bad. Travel involved and money. Travel involved and money. So people that are maybe having to spend some money because of travel, I know I am, due to the car. So that's our present. That's our present. Maybe you're traveling and that's costing you money, or your vehicle is costing you money. On the middle of the deck, what's positive is love. Having a lot of affection, having a lot of love. 7 in general, very lucky number. So that's a very positive thing. So go with the flow wherever you find love, whether that's in family, friends, your pets, which are your fur babies, your children, whatever relationships you're in. Enjoy that. That is right now. Right now. Okay? That's for this time period. And then money's going to flow again. Your money will flow again. It'll be strong again. So those are positive things. Like I said, I don't like leaving readings in a negative because everything can always be, turned around with you just keeping positive. It doesn't mean that you don't get negative for a minute or 2 or even 30 minutes or even maybe 3 hours. But so long as you can turn your spirit, your energy around so that you can have something positive to hang on to latch on to, I think that is something super important to do on a daily basis. I've always had the philosophy, for example, that I can get through anything so long as there's one thing in my life that's not spinning out of control. This is my one thing. This is my pleasure. This is where I derive my joy, is from doing readings, from speaking to you directly, from trying to help you as well as I can with my knowledge, and so that you can have a better outcome in your life. and that you can have better decision making abilities, and of course, better things coming towards you, if they're not so positive or in the positive currently, that things can change and you can have something positive come to you. So with that said, this has been your Libra reading for the time frame of September the 4th through the 7th for this weekend, because we're still in the time frame of the full moon, and happy belated full moon. I wish you all well, and please stay safe out there, because that's the biggest danger that I see for this weekend is a lot of volatility, a lot of things that can occur, and a lot of uh, people taking things the wrong way, or you saying things that you don't think about the way it sounds to somebody else before you say it. You've got to think before you say things if you actually do care about the person. If you don't care about the person, then you know what? Let it fly. Say whatever you want, and then the chips fall where they may. But if you really do care about the person that you're talking to, then talk with love, talk with kindness, talk with integrity. Speak with integrity. And my philosophy for people that are in the workplace has always been that you don't demean your employees, you empower them. So, how can you empower your employees is by giving them the tools to succeed. Just like it took you, as a person, let's say a new person in a company, coming into a company and maybe not knowing how things worked or the procedures or policies, or maybe not knowing certain aspects of your job. Well, somebody had to teach you before you became a professional or proficient at it. So you should, if you care about your employees, want them to feel that they can come to you, count on you, and so that you can also teach them how to be proficient. But keep in mind, as a teacher, because if you're training somebody, then therefore you're taking the role on as a teacher, a mentor. And if you're doing that, you've got to teach, if you want them to learn correctly, you've got to teach with love, with TLC, with kindness, with patience. You've got to teach with integrity. And you've got to teach them per their learning style. If you want to teach with don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, do it this way, that's probably not going to sit well with the majority of people. So you have to, and this is something I want everybody to keep in mind. Not everybody is set to be a manager. Not everybody can be a supervisor. Not everybody can be a trainer. They may be great at their own job, and they may not be trainer material. They may not be teacher material. They may not be supervisor material. And it's okay. That's fine too, to know your limits, to um, not be able to do that. But then if you are a trainer and you're really good at it, then go with that. But also figure out how to empower your employees instead of demeaning your employees and making them feel less than because they don't have those tools yet that you might have already. So, in closing, I really think that beautiful things are coming for Libras. It's going to be a hard one. But if you can push yourself forward and grab on to those new things that are trying to come your way and just wade through that heavy flood water that's unfortunately coming, if you can just get past all of that, I told you guys to put on those galoshes. I told you guys to put, the ones that the fishermen wear, the fly fisher, that come all the way up. If you got to put all those on, to get through this, these next 4 months, then do what you got to do. If you want to stay complacent and you want to stay small, you want to stay in the same place, you don't want to move forward, you're content, then God Goddess is not going to be bringing anybody in your life anymore to be pushing you. This is it. We've reached the end of the lesson, the end of um, the year. Like, let's say if you're in high school, that's it, you're in your 4th year, that's it, you've had all these years to catch up, to move up, and to mean it, not just to say it from your teeth out, but to mean it. You know, it is a put up or shut up moment. And that's in general. If you want to grow as a person, if you want to grow in the craft, if you want to grow, um, pardon me, at work, if you want to grow, um, spiritually, any growth, you want to grow in your relationship, you want your relationship to grow, put up or shut up. It's already that time. So, the videos that I'm going to be doing from here on out are not going to be about, okay, guys, let's get with the program. That's done. The videos I'm going to be doing from this point on is how to survive this upcoming 4 months, and if you're already there, to keep going in that momentum. I'm not going to be doing any videos on okay, so you're not there yet. Okay, let's get no. That's done. If you're somebody that's new to the craft, if you're somebody that's new to metaphysical things, if you're somebody that's new that doesn't have any experience at all as to what's happening around the world and planetary wise and in the craft or metaphysical, you're always welcome to email me at my last name, Gadiparti, Gadiparthi. I said P like Paul, Arthi, Ella, ELLA, at gmail.com. And I will help you as much as I can. We can have one-on-one sessions. Please be understanding that this time is free, but my time is something I do charge for. And if you're wanting to want one-on-one lessons, I'm happy to teach you anything and everything in reference to the craft. The only thing I do not teach is I do not teach tarot reading, and that is because I have been told by the arcs that this is just not something I'm going to do anymore for anyone. But other than that, I'm happy to help you along the way with life coaching, etc. We all need somebody to talk to, so I'm happy to do that. You just have to reach out via email and let me know. And so I hope that this has helped you to navigate this weekend and the energies. And I'm going to safely say that it's probably going to last until at least the 10th, that this full moon is going to be felt. But I'm saying that it's going to be for the 4th through the 7th, but we can expect that it's probably the energy is going to be lasting up until at least the 10th of September 2020. Because I really feel like that it's just going to keep going a little bit longer. You can see my crazy looking hair. It's like I said, crazy here and professional over here. It had been drizzling. I had been walking in the rain. So my hair decided to do its own crazy stuff. So I'm not here to look gorgeous for you. I'm here to inform you. So I hope that I gave you some tools and I gave you some food for thought. And again, there's no más. There's no more training. This is time to graduate. This is time for us to put up or shut up, and that's it. So much love, much light to you. Stay safe, and I hope you learned something from this video, okay? Bye, Libras. Take care.